Preeya, the thing I like about this bun is normally I would make it with yeast and plain flour, but I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way of putting it together using self-raising flour. And I'm using really good self-raising flour, low protein, so it's going to be nice and fluffy, which is exactly what we want. 3.5 cups go into the bowl here, and I'll just pour that straight in there. And you're going to do the mixing for me.
Love it. Easy job for me today.
Now, I've got baking powder in there, which will make it nice and fluffy, and we'll just start adding everything else. Egg goes in there, and it's a good free-range egg. Now, we need some milk as well, so 1.25 cups of milk goes in there. We love fresh Australian milk. Also using some maple syrup as a sweetener, so in that goes. That'll give it a bit of colour as well, but the flavour you get from maple syrup, excellent. Now, butter is what makes everything taste good, so we've got some melted butter, go straight in there, about 1/4 cup. And to sweeten it up even more, some sugar. And to make it even flavoursome and more delicious, we're going to put some cinnamon, because it's not a sweet bun unless it's got a pinch or two of cinnamon in there. Now, you're mixing that around together. You could use a mixer to do it.
You could, because it's quite thick, is all I'll say.
Exactly, but
yes.
I find just by using your hands and a spoon, mixing it around nice and gently.
This is a stitch-up, Richo.
Exactly. What I would do is get you to do that, and then I go have a cup of tea or make myself a coffee, but I can't do it to you. So what I'll do is I'll take over from here.
Wonderful.
Now, it's just starting to come together nicely, so I like to get my hands into it. And what I want you to do is just have a feel of that dough. It's really nice and soft.
Ooh,
exactly.
it is.
So all we're doing now is just with...
Fragrant, with cinnamon.
The cinnamon's great. So I just move it around a little bit so the wet part of the dough soaks up all of the flour that's in the bottom of that bowl there, just kneading it really, really gently. Now, it's not like a bread dough where you knead it really hard and stretch the gluten in it. We just want to get all the ingredients mixed around nicely and all the flour from the bottom of that bowl. If you move that bowl out of the way, this is the next step. I dust the board with lots of flour, and that stops it from sticking. And you can see how soft it is?
Yeah, it is soft.
It's like
and
me.
not much... Yeah, go on.
It's like me on the inside, soft and fluffy. You're liking that. Now, with it rolling pin, I just roll it out nice and gently. And what I'm looking for, Preeya, is sort of like a rectangle. You know, and you don't need to get right into this too hard. You just want to knead it out nice and gently. I'm looking for, what, about 1 centimetre? Would that be right?
Yes.
OK, now we're nearly there. Now, you can see it is really soft and delicate. It's almost like a scone dough. That's sort of what we're making here. Now, here is where we make it even more delicious. Now, you talked about having the sugar in there. I like to put plenty of sugar.
Just a bit more.
Just a little bit more. So we've got this lovely wholemeal brown sugar, which is really healthy and delicious. You like the wholemeal brown sugar?
Well, it's still sugar, is all I'll say.
But it's brown, so it's wholemeal, so it must be good for you.
This is twisting the things I've said before, but that's OK.
Now, Preeya, if you can sprinkle some of the currants on there, because I know you like those currants or
I
sultanas
do, and
or
can I just say, I would use these to deliver sweetness. So this is what I tend to use, like a fruit to deliver some sweetness into the dish, and I would reduce the sugar.
We could use
as an option.
Date as well, which is extremely sweet, and that would be fantastic. Some cinnamon goes on there as well. Are you liking this?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. Now, this is the even more fun part. You just grab the end of it and start rolling it like this, and we just roll it over onto itself.
This is a lovely thing to do together, Richo.
I know.
We're just rolling a little...
Rolling
what is this, log? I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you could see the kids at home doing this.
I
you know?
can.
It's going to be messy. There'll be stuff all over the place.
It's making me anxious, so I won't do it.
Exactly. But it's going to be messy, but it'll keep them busy for ages. They'll eat plenty of dough, so they'll be well and truly full. Now, this is my little tip. I just spray the pan in the bottom here like this with a little bit of oil, and then I grab some baking paper and tear off a nice big piece of baking paper like that. Beautiful. And then scrunch it up. You like this? Yeah. This is my little pro tip.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this before every time I'm shopped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The oil sticks to the bottom, and then pop that down there. I've got a knife here. Now, while I cut this up, Preeya, if you can crack that egg into there, you're already on it, and then give it a bit of a whisk up. So we'll use that to glaze the top of it. And I just cut it. You can cut it whatever size you want. I'm looking, you know, about 2 fingers is what I'm looking for. At this stage, it looks a little bit rugged, but once it goes into the oven, it's going to be fantastic. Now, you just spread them out like this. Give them a little bit of room because they will expand when they cook, but you want to snuggle them up fairly closely together. Look at that. And I've just got this other little one I'll snuggle in there.
Brush.
Go
Go
crazy.
for it.
Use all of the egg, brush it all on there. Now, if you want to, you can sprinkle some more sugar on top of it, but just a little brush of egg helps to glaze it while it's cooked. Now, Preeya, this is going to go into the oven, 200 degrees Celsius. Make sure you preheat the oven for about 20 minutes before you put these in. It'll take about 25 to 35 minutes. You'll know they're cooked because they will puff up beautifully and nice and golden on their top, and they will smell fantastic, and you'll be dying to eat them. So into the oven they go. Preeya, they look and smell delicious.
They do. They're very golden. I can smell the cinnamon.
But they're not finished yet.
Of course they're not, Richo.
We need to put some flavour on top of it. In that bowl there, I've got about a cup of icing sugar. I'm going to add some coffee. And if you can whisk that, just put a tiny bit of water in there, probably about a quarter of a cup. Oh, you won't need much at all. I think that's just about to come together.
So you could stop here potentially, couldn't you? With the bun, you could.
I don't know why you would.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, this is going to taste great. You can smell the coffee in there. That's a really good, strong espresso. Now, you're going to whisk that till all the lumps are out of it, and it doesn't matter if there are a few lumps because that coffee flavour is going to go all the way through.
You happy with that?
That is fantastic.
Wonderful.
And the buns have cooled down a little bit. This is why I like using baking paper.
Easy.
Exactly, and it slides like that. Pop that over here, and now it's just a matter of grabbing this this cream or the coffee fondant and just pouring it over the top like that to make it taste even more goodlier. Now that's a word that I've registered, and it's going to stick for today. Look, this looks great, doesn't it?
It does.
And I'm going to put some butter on here for you. Just a
happening.
little bit of butter on the side there. Have a little taste of that.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I thought you were going to feed me.
No, we could do that.
Quite luxury.
We could do that if you want to, but that's extra. Now, I'll put a little bit of butter on this, and it's still warm on the inside, so the butter's nice and soft and will melt into it.
That is beautiful, crunchy on the outside. I'll say this, it is quite rich. It's got a lot of things in there which are sometimes foods, a lot of sugar. I love it for sometimes, but I would probably make a savoury version of this with wholemeal flour and some veggies inside.
And put some mozzarella cheese, delicious.
Yeah, sure.
I could do that.